Okay, so it's November 15th, 2023, did I say 15th? November 5th, November 5th, November 5th, 2023. I want to show you guys, I hope everybody's doing well, first of all, and I want to show you guys that I have somebody, I don't know a lot of target individuals that are going through what I'm going through. I kind of think that I'm got the regular, being a TI people that harass you, whoever that is. I have my ideals, but I'm not going to get into that on this video. But then I think I have a separate security company harassing me or something else going on too, because the stuff that happens to me, I don't know any other TI. Well, rare, I do know other TIs, but rare, they're rare. And even then, they can't comprehend the total as much damage and home invasion that I'm getting, because they are not getting as much. They are getting it, but not as much. I'm getting it like the minute I leave my house, my apartment, somebody comes in. The minute at night they're coming in. It doesn't matter if I get security cameras. It doesn't matter. I live in an apartment. Everybody has a key. If you change your locks in an apartment, you have to give the office the key. Everybody has a key. So they hired third parties for whatever reason. They hire air conditioning people. All those people have keys. And when people leave, they leave the employment, the office staff, the maintenance people, they all have keys. They all have keys to your apartment when they leave. You know, you can take a group of keys. You could be a maintenance person and take a group of keys, or an office person, and go to the store and get a copy. It's not that hard. It's $1 or $2. Anybody could have a key. But I want to show you that I'm just going to give you, you see what they do? They take, let's see if I could get a better, well, I don't know if I could show it better or not, but there you go. They take a clipping. This has been going on for a long time. This isn't just one thing. You could see that that's been cut out of there. They are cutting my toenails like that, and sometimes they'll do it on both sides, but they are cutting my toenails. And it's back in the quick. They're cutting them at night. And I think the reason why they're doing that is because that gives your toenails and your hair and all that gives what's going on in your body for the last months. It gives all that information. And they've been doing that to me for a long time. They've been cutting my toenails like that for a long time. You can see it now, see? They've been cutting them for a long time like that. Cutting. And I'm going to start documenting that. Like every time that my toenails cut like that, I'm going to document it. Because they've been doing for me for years now. And I also want to mention, going back to this, that I have something going on with my arm. And I know that they did this to me. I've got lumps in my arms and in my armpits. I've been to 3 doctors and none of them have offered to run a scan. Why wouldn't they run a scan on me? I've got lumps and they're painful. You know, they did that to me. So, there's that. That's why they put those, like, sand flies in my apartment. Because whoever's doing this to me is out of the state of Texas, and they think that we have sand flies here in Arizona, but we do not in this part of Arizona. Not in the valley where it's hot. We do not have sand flies. There's not enough water here to have sand flies. We don't have them here. And that's why they put like bugs, because they're made in petri dishes and they bring them to your house, and flying insects. So that way when they bite you, like the sandflies bite you, or some of the other flying bugs, gnats that they put in your house and other things, then it gives you diseases because they're already raised with diseases in petri dishes. That's why they do that. And I think that's how I got whatever's wrong with my arm that nobody's dealing with. I went, and one of the doctors I went to was a specialist that specialized in, it was a endocrinologist, and they specialized in your lymph systems and diabetes and all that. And when a doctor sees me, they take off their coat and put it on the chair. And more than almost every doctor does that to me. And when they do that, that means that they're taking off their coat. They're not being a doctor no more. And when they leave the room, then they put it back on. In other words, when they're treating me, they're not being a doctor no more. Because if they were really being a doctor, they would have ordered a scan. What if I have cancer? Or what, something's going on. Why wouldn't they, as soon as you heard the word nodule, why wouldn't they order a scan? That doesn't make any sense. But there you go when you're being a TI, right? And I ain't going to get any medical treatment because that's how I got into the program, was a medical person. So there you go. You'll have to go back in my videos to see that. But anyways, there's that. Somebody had asked me, I get, in one video, if I see a lot of drones, they've asked me that. I never have in the program, being in the program. I mean, I've seen a few. I used to see them when I started the program, when I used to do a lot of driving, I'd see them. But yeah, now I'm not sure if it's a drone or a star, but I am seeing something. I'm going to have to start recording that too. I'm going to just have to start recording again because they've ramped up my targeting again. People say, the general public won't understand any of this because they're not being harassed and stalked by a private security company. They're not. So they won't understand it. The private security companies, they hire ex-military people that are called breachers with a B. And all they did in the military was break-ins. They were taught how to get into any house, bypass any cameras, do whatever. That was their whole job. There's people in the military with high, that are trained to do these jobs. Law enforcement does it too. They're called breachers. They could it doesn't matter what you have. They're trained to do that. That's how they go over to other countries and unalive people, because they got breachers. People that can get into places that nobody else can in just a few minutes. They're trained to bypass. Just like you can have a credit card and it doesn't matter whether they put a chip in the credit card or what they're doing. There's always somebody out there that can break that and scam your card and use it. Doesn't matter that they put the chip in the credit cards. They're still scamming people out of lots of money. They're still doing it. It doesn't matter what they come up with. There's always somebody out there a little bit smarter that can outsmart it. So just think about that when people are coming into your house with these 1940 locks that we have on the doors. Why haven't they upgraded the locks? They upgraded the TVs. They've upgraded your cars. Your phone can do all this kind of stuff. Except for the houses. They're still square and the door locks are still from 1940. And so are the windows. You got to think about that. Why is that? Use your mind, public. Use your mind. Use your mind, public. TIs know this, but use your mind, public. There's a chip in your credit card, so I guess that means that they can't scam you, right, public? So I have locks from 1940s, and you think that they can't bypass a camera that's just a generalized camera that anybody can buy? You'd have to buy a $10,000 camera for them not to be able, a security system for them not to be able to bypass you. I was told that by a law enforcement agent. General locks that you can get at Home Depot, those are trash. Anybody could buy, a 2-year-old could bypass them. Alarm systems can be bypassed by a teenager with one simple item, and it's inexpensive. And they do it all the time. They climb in and out the windows. It's easy to bypass an alarm system. So these are all just noisemakers. They're not for protection. And yes, I've tried getting a dog. They beat the shit out of my dog, and I had to give them away. I had 2 dogs that I had to give away because 3 men were coming in onto my property when I owned a house and kicking the shit out of my dogs and tasering them. So a dog can be tasered, poisoned, or beat up. So, there's ways around everything. If somebody's really after you, and somebody's really after me. Because it's a vendetta. So there you go. Well, anyways, there's my explanation. So now you know. So quit saying dumb things on my channel. Public, not TIs. Peace and love.